right, we're here with CJ Albertson of Brooks. We're at the Boston Marathon here at the Copley Hotel. Fourth straight year you're running Boston, and you're coming off a great performance at trials, finishing fifth there. That was a PR in the marathon too. So as you go into this Boston for the fourth time and now kind of gearing up for maybe what could be a career marathon, what are your feelings right now?
I feel pretty good. I mean, coming off the trials was just definitely fun. So I feel like Boston is just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's just fun. It's kind of like almost like a bonus race in a sense. And I feel like now, like I've ran so many races that I don't really feel a ton of pressure. Even for the trials, like, I mean, obviously you're trying to make the Olympics, but like a race is just a race. So, and marathons are usually like pretty low key. So it's like, well, not low key. I mean, they're big, but like the pace is low key. So like you can be pretty relaxed.
What keeps you coming back to Boston? Like, what about this race just makes you want to come back every year?
I mean, it's just like really fun. Like the atmosphere here is just like, it's awesome. And the whole weekend, like everyone's just excited, like the feel of it. Like obviously you get to stay in this super nice hotel. But yeah, just everything about it is awesome. And then on race day, like, you know, there's just like, I don't know, like a million people out there. I don't even think that's an exaggeration, but it's just like so many people just yelling and just this high energy race the whole time. And it's just fun.
Do you feel the most confident you've been about a marathon? You know, obviously you keep cutting time, you keep getting better, and you're kind of in sort of peak years too for the marathon. So where do you see yourself, and how confident are you?
Well, I guess I'll answer too. So, I mean, in general, I feel, you know, pretty good. Like for the next like 5 to 10 years, however long I'm gonna keep doing this, I feel like I definitely have more ahead of me and continue to progress. For this particular race, I mean, I feel kind of the same. Like I don't feel like I'm in this like amazing shape that I've never been in before. I'm kind of just in like, you know, my typical shape. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've ran so many races. And the more that you run, it's like your training and stuff that you do doesn't always correlate 100% with your races. I mean, you got to be within a range, but yeah, I mean, if you're just basically a race is just a race. So you know, whether I feel confident going in or not, like a lot of times the end result doesn't even reflect that. So I don't really even care how I feel anymore. You just go into the race and like the results are going to be what they are.
Yeah.
Is there something in particular that you're striving for this marathon? I feel like this is such a big year, and I feel like everybody has a plan. Here is just another, as you say, another race on the calendar. So is there anything in particular that like you're really trying to dial in on and focus on for the Boston Marathon?
I mean, it would be really fun to be top 5. Like that's a big goal, and it would just like, you know, hit that like Olympic auto spot, which I don't think is gonna matter. I think, you know, Corbier is gonna have the 3rd spot for world rankings anyways. But it would just be fun to say I unlocked a spot, and being top 5 at Boston is kind of a big deal. So that would be ideal. I'm not gonna go like all in on that and be like I gotta keep, you know, the 5th guy in sight. I'm just gonna kind of run and, you know, and then, but in the back of my mind, like late in the race, if there's a chance to be 5th, like that'll be extra motivation.
And you talked about the Olympic standard, which is 2:08:10. So correct, 2:08.
Yeah, but Boston doesn't count. So.
Correct, right.
Yeah.
But you know that is the standard for the Olympic cycle, essentially, that unlocks an auto spot, right?
Yeah, and so does top 5 at a world marathon major.
Top 5 in the rankings. So 2021. You know, you led for 20 miles. I think, you know, everyone sort of saw you really, I mean, in a lot of ways for the first time, kind of stepping out and presenting yourself. I mean, when it comes to like race strategy of a marathon, how do you approach it now, having run a lot, but obviously is it any different for you, you know, going in here?
I guess like in a funny way, ideally I would want my splits to be around what they were that first time I ran. I came through the half at about 64:20, which would be on the conservative side actually, but like if I could come through around 64 flat and have like a big, you know, a decent pack like pulling me along to that, I think I'd feel really good and can close well. So that first year it kind of reflects more like what my ideal pace is. In the past couple of years, especially last year, we ran a lot faster than what is probably best for me. So yeah, I mean, strategy-wise, you just kind of got to go with the flow of the race and see, if the front pack is too fast, is there another pack that will run a pace that is suitable for me and at and be able to hang on for a long time, because I don't want to run alone for the whole race. But with a slight tailwind, which it could be, running alone may not be as terrible. So so we'll just see.
How's practice been leading up to this moment to kind of prepare you to kind of strive for those splits that you're looking for?
I mean, it's just been like normal, I guess. Just like going through training, doing long runs, doing some speed workouts. It hasn't been like a perfect training. I haven't had like quite the mileage I would normally like, or done quite the long runs I would normally like. But I feel comfortable with like my speed, and so like the paces that I need to run, I know I can run those fairly comfortably. Obviously, like a marathon is, can you run them comfortably for 26.2 miles is a different thing. But I've run so many marathons, done so many miles in my career, done so much long stuff. I feel like my legs hold up pretty well. So I feel pretty comfortable that if I kind of stay within myself, like I'm fit enough and just have the experience and legs to finish well.
Your favorite quote: "Running is easy."
Yeah.
Right. Is that a way to sort of keep things even keeled, as you've mentioned? Like, no race is any bigger than the next one. Like, you got to go into it just thinking it's another race, but running is easy. Like, what is that to you?
I mean, it's mainly like a mindset just to keep you like relaxed in the race and not feel like you're in this like panic mode, or that like, oh, this is like so hard. Because like once you get into that like, oh, this is like the hardest thing I've ever done, this is just like so hard, then like you're probably gonna slow down. Like if you're perceiving something as like, super challenging, but if you perceive it as like this is easy, or this is something I can do, like if everyone thinks of their marathon pace and they just go out and like, start running that, like that pace feels relatively easy, and so like at any given moment in the race, like there's nothing about this pace or this feeling or this motion that is hard. It's just kind of because I'm tired, both mentally and physically. So, but if you can just remind yourself, like, okay, like 4:55 pace running, like that's, like I've done that so many times, like it feels good, like normally. So it's just like reminding your brain that this isn't something we've never done before. Like, just keep going. Like we're in our sweet spot.
I want to talk really briefly about you outside of marathon running, because we just came into the lobby and immediately we saw you because you're taking selfies with some people that are in the lobby. Just talk to me about that experience and just kind of what does that make you? How does that make you feel, and what's that like when you go into events like this and people are coming up to you and are like, "Hey CJ, can we take a selfie with you?" Like, just talk to us about that experience.
I mean, it's kind of funny because that like only happens at like events like this. In my normal life, I'm just like, a guy. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm fairly used to it now because I've done like a lot of marathons, big events, and so it's just kind of like what you expect in a way. But then like in my normal life, like I'm just like teaching and coaching and just going through my life, and like everyone sees me every day, so it's just like I'm just a normal person, and like so that never really happens. Like it's not like I'm like a celebrity where you go to the grocery store and people like take pictures of you. Like
not in Clovis. Clovis, they don't just all recognize you.
Well, people will like runners will know me, but it's not like a big deal to see me because
Gotcha.
they see me all the time. So it's just like, and I'm just like, it's my hometown. Like I grew up there, so it's like, it's like your neighbor that you see every day. It's that's my neighbor. Like you don't really care.
You have some really interesting, races under your belt. You're a world record holder in the 50K. You ran an indoor marathon that was, I believe that's a world record too, right? 2:17, 5 indoors.
It's like unofficial. They don't. Yeah, but yeah.
Obviously, World Athletics isn't governing that. But is there anything, like those races that you would consider doing again, like kind of out of the box, but kind of fun? Obviously, marathoning is so serious at times, but is there anything else you've been thinking about like that?
I mean, basically just whenever opportunities are there, I typically just do them. So I kind of plan some things, but a lot of the things that I've done just kind of happened. And so, basically, I mean, anything that's kind of out of the box, different, if it seems like a cool opportunity and would be fun, then, I typically would do it. And usually on pretty short notice. So yeah, basically I'm pretty much open to anything, and I don't think the marathon is that serious because it's just like just out there running. There's like 30,000 people gonna be running, and so.
What do you like doing for fun, like outside of running?
I feel like I'm just tired all the time because I'm like working and doing stuff, and then trying to marathon train, and then having kids. It's just like I'm just tired most of the time. So like I don't have any energy to invest like energy and time into like a hobby or something. Maybe when I'm like 45 or 50, maybe I'll pick up a hobby and be able to retroactively answer what I like to do for fun. But right now it's just like all the stuff I kind of have to do, and then lay around and sleep. I like just kind of hanging out and talking, doing low energy things.
We've been seeing a lot of athletes get into fishing lately, so just keep that.
Oh no, that's too boring.
That's too boring?
Yeah.
It's relaxing.
Yeah, but I don't touch fish. Like I can't touch the fish, so I can't take it off the hook. So
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you teach at Clovis CC, you coach there too, correct?
Yeah.
How do you like that?
I like it. I mean, or I probably wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. But it's fun. It's fun coaching athletes and just helping them just develop as people, as runners, kind of navigate the ups and downs of running. Both physically and mentally and emotionally and all of that. So it's just fun. Also, just fun building a team, building a program. Having success and just watching people improve.
Giving back to that community that you grew up in too, is that a big part of it too? Like being in Clovis, kind of having ownership over some of that space?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really look at it as like giving back, I guess, because it's just like it's like one, I get paid to do it, so it's like I mean it's equally beneficial for me, but I like being in my hometown just because I like it. Like I like the community there. Obviously I liked it when I was growing up. And just like all the school systems, or like all the high schools around the area too, and have good connections with like the high school coaches there. So it just feels like familiar. Like there's just like a good community there, and great running community, really great high school programs, and like obviously our college programs too. So our college is really great. Like our staff and like administration, like everyone like over me, I guess, that are my bosses, like it's easy to work with and like makes it fun. So
do you see yourself being there like long term, or
well, I just got tenure, so probably will be there till I die, till I retire. But I don't really have, I mean, I guess like maybe after like I like kind of like retired, or like my kids were out of the house kind of through college, and like I kind of like hit my max on like the retirement scale, because maybe if I had the opportunity, would coach at the D1 for like a few years just to kind of experience it. But as far as like while I have a family and like life like that, I have no aspirations to leave.
I only have one more thing. It feels like you're a little you're introspective in some ways. I saw on Instagram you posted a really nice poem. I don't know how long ago, but you wrote at the very end, "I felt everything at once, and man, it felt so right. I knew that I was living. My soul was filled with light." That poem that you wrote.
That was right after the Olympic trials.
In February.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on sort of like laying some of that on social?
I feel like I've always kind of written poems or like little rhyming things, I guess. And I feel like, I mean, some people close to me know that, but like the general public probably didn't know that. So it's just like fun for me because it's like a creative type of thing. And so I was like, I'll just because like some like race recaps, like everyone does like a race recap, and I don't really like doing it, but I was like, I'll just kind of like maybe let people see like a different side of me, but that also like talks about the race, I guess, because that's just like how I am. So it was kind of just like, I don't know, this is like a part of me, and I guess like if people follow me, like maybe they choose to follow me to like see parts of who I am. So I was like,
it was cool, offering a different sort of sense of who you are. Because oftentimes with runners, we see basically race,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
interview, but we don't often see sort of the things that make them, kind of what you are, who you are.
Yeah.
So, I think. Is there anything else you want to leave with, or you good?
No, I think that's good.
CJ, thank you so much. Best of luck tomorrow, and we wish you, obviously, best of luck. Okay.
All right, thank you.